it can only be derived from the Quran or the Bible. Because anything other than that, you are moving away from God. So, you see that anything that is religious is taboo. Anything that is evil is legal. We Africans have to, and we say we are independent, Republic of the Gambia. And we have to be told by some British faggot that, oh, we have to, this is a violation of human rights. In fact, they call them minorities. Yes. Minority. When has homosexual become a minority anywhere? In fact, when has the world accepted homosexuals? If countries are led by homosexuals, that's their business, but not the Gambia. So, if they think it is right, let them practice it there, but not here in the Gambia. Do you understand? And how many times are Africans being killed in the streets of London and other Western countries by neo-Nazis and far-right or BNP? And those people have never been called terrorists. They have never been arrested and prosecuted. Just today I saw they're taking somebody in Britain to court for something. But they have done things with impunity. An African is stabbed in London is like a dog killed in the subway. But if a white guy dies believing that a Jamaican or somebody killed him, a Gambian black killed him, they will get the killer. But when an African is killed, a black is killed, the killers cannot be. When an African dies at the hands of the British police, it's not an issue. But a white guy dies in a black neighborhood, that's a big issue. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, but we African leaders also are seeing all this, and then we go to London or go to somewhere else and say, yes, yes, and then they organize a demonstration for you. Yeah, this is normal.
And they'll get the funding for it.
What funding? Now, tell me one African country that has developed today thanks to the West. Tell me. With all their natural resources, we have some countries that have been working with them, their so-called allies. If they don't take from you, they don't give you. And it is, you're asking for trouble if you don't want to give it to them the way they want it. And I will not do that. And I love one title, you know, dictator.
Yes, I was going to ask, are you?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I'm a dictator of development. A dictator of progress. And a dictator that will not be dictated to by outsiders. But in the Gambia, I'm a servant of the people. So, we have developed, we have come a long way. We still have a long way to go. But we counted only on God and other countries that recognize the fact that we are human beings and that we are a sovereign country and that we should be respected. 99% of the infrastructural projects here, none of them is given gratis. 99%. We have built it, built the infrastructure, we built this country, we took it from a stone age. If you look at the Gambia is divided into two by the River Gambia. The north bank of the River Gambia had never had a highway. Today they have the best highway. Let me tell you one thing. But I don't know whether I should tell you this.
Yes, please.
You know that 70% of rural Gambia is electrified? 75%?
75%.
Rural Gambia. And 90% of rural Gambia have potable water.
And those are the stories that we don't get to hear.
No, they will not want you to hear that.
We hear more on the gay rights, the executions, and this is why I'm saying. Yeah.
There was a country that have taken that gathered up an entire group of people to a highway in plain in broad daylight and shot them because they belong to some what they call terrorist organization without trial. Nobody said anything. They said, oh yeah, they are fighting terror. They execute people on a daily basis. Nobody's saying anything. They kill people, even young people are being killed in this particular country. Nobody's saying anything. But Gambia, people, we executed murderers, and we're going to execute more, even if the sky is to explode. Now, if they abolish the death penalty, that doesn't mean that they should impose that on Gambia or third world countries. But one thing that Africans have to understand is that there are people are migrating to Africa. And so they don't want those people to be one day convicted and sentenced to death and hung in Africa, because it would be taboo for a black man to hang a white man, when they were very happy to hang black men in their own countries.
Put it in the current issue, just on the capital punishment and the lynching that happened in America, you know.
Lynching, they have been hanging people even in Africa during the colonial era. You will not read any history, true history of Africa where the king orders someone to be hanged. The idea of the death penalty, they brought it. In those days, you pay in kind, the number of goats or the number of days that you have to pay for the offense that you have committed or communal work. There wasn't anything like prison. The only time somebody is killed is when we fight against each other. When the different kingdoms fight against each other, or different tribes clash. So the idea of prison, in your local language, do you have the word indigenous word prison? No. They say, oh, yes, it's cruel and unusual punishment.
It happens in Texas.
What will be more cruel than arresting an African in Africa, park him like a sardine in a boat, like cargo, go and auction him in America, and then let him live like a dog? He walks and you beat him on a daily basis. And not even, we are sorry, we cannot have that. An apology. We as Africans cannot have that.
But they will argue that two wrongs do not make a right.
So, okay, now, why do the British think that they can be teachers of democracy to Africa? After looting the whole world and killing so many people, after the outrageous massacres they carried out in India, in Eastern Africa, and robbing up people of their wealth, they killed thousands of Indians, for the Indians saying that they have a right to their own salt. Indians were banned from mining salt that belongs to them. A British company have to mine it, use Indians to mine it, and then they will sell it to the Indians. They have forgotten that.
First of all, you know, when I was just being driven in, I saw the arch and the wording there where it says, behind every man is, you know, a successful man is a woman. And I wanted to know, I know Gambia has done a lot in terms of, you know, empowering women, and whether that is, how is the gender parity in the running of the country, the Gambia, since you came into power?
Normally, you don't ask a woman how old she is.
I don't mind.
And I respect that. Though this is not, that is not an African issue. What? This new vocabulary, gender parity.
Yes.
During the colonial era, nobody talked about gender parity in Africa. The reality of the situation, the reality of the matter is the fact that in Africa, especially in the Gambia, we do not see ourselves, a man and a woman, as adversaries or opponents or competitors, but we see, when you look at yourself, you realize that you are half and you need another half to make yourself a whole.
Complementary.
We are complementary. In the Gambia, no decision is taken, even in the rural villages. No decision is of importance to the family is taken without the participation and consent of the wife. That has always been there, and unfortunately today they tell you, the African woman, that oh, you are disenfranchised, you have not been empowered.